And good morning, everyone. Good morning, Rodney. How are you this morning?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. It is Monday and we are here. What the heck is it? It is July 31. Can you believe that?
The last day of July. Yeah, and it
That's
seems an
right.
appropriate day for the special interview that I have planned today. I get to interview someone, y'all, and I'm not going to tell you who until we're ready. But and we will be
Yes.
in a few minutes. But in the meantime, Rodney, I did want to tell you I have a message for you. So, and it's a message for everyone else too. And that message is out of Lamentations, and it's that God's mercies are new every morning. So leave tomorrow, leave yesterday
Yes.
behind.
Yes. Yes.
Don't think about tomorrow. His mercies towards you are new this morning and every morning. Isn't that great news? Good morning,
I tell you,
AC. Good morning.
I take that with all with a empty heart to feel. And I'm telling you, the word is so true, so rich. That is something that will some people wake up in the morning and they feel kind of like, oh, it's Monday or whatever. And sometimes I'm, oh, hey, thank you, thank you. Yes,
There you
everybody
go. I was
notices
hoping
my
for
new
that. I was
do,
hoping
my new
somebody
do.
would come up with that. Isn't that
Yeah,
wonderful? Don't you love what you do?
yeah, it's
You
just something different. I out of well, everyone. I have to say this is something. I'm not having a what do you call it? A midlife crisis or anything like that. It is just merely something that I was just testing out. I had a kind of some friends say, "Hey, have you ever did twist?" And I said, "No, I've never done twist." So hey, we're gonna try twist and see what happens.
twist, and you're rocking them. I have to say, you're rocking those twists. So yeah, Rodney was
Thank
complimenting
you. Well,
your
it's
hair.
just something different.
Yeah, and of course I had to say, "Oh, you've got something new going on there too." And I, from the looks of it, I think he probably had more time spent on his than I did on mine. It looks great, Rodney.
Well,
Uh oh.
you know what? We're gonna have to see if we can get you a spot. I said, I think we should see if we could get you a sponsorship deal with L'Oreal. I think you would be a great mature model for L'Oreal for hair products. I think
Mm,
maybe I'm wrong, but again, thanks to all our viewers out there. We've got comments pouring in. Thank you, your Jacqueline. Thank you, and it's Carrie. I always called your Carrie. Yeah, thank you, Carrie, and all the wonderful comments that are pouring in. And
yeah,
again,
Gary
you're
says that
watching the
makes you
This
look
Way
young.
Network. This is the chat session. I'm Rodney Allen Rippy. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And
Yeah.
of course, Nina, my wonderful co host. So, Nina, how was your weekend? Did you have a great weekend?
I did. I had a good weekend. I went to a painting party yesterday. So, and I haven't done and I haven't done
Wow.
anything
Okay.
to painting walls and furniture probably in the
Mm-hmm.
last 30, 35 years, something like that. So it was great to pick up a paintbrush
Okay.
and actually get to play with colors again. We had a great, great time, and everyone loved it because nobody wanted to leave. Everybody was busy working on their paintings and wanted to keep on
Okay.
going. We were having so much fun. So that was great. How about yours? How about your weekend?
Well, my weekend kind of encompassed my birthday. July 29th was my birthday. So I was out and I went to beautiful San Diego, California. I went
Mm.
to an incredible seafood restaurant called Prime. And, I had a, business colleague down there, Felipe and Evelyn. They took me down. They said, hey, and they took me. We had lobster, and then was able to go to Yorba Linda by the ocean side and just taking some beautiful views of God's blessing. And so I just had a great, relaxing weekend. Now it's back to work. It's Monday, and we're rolling. We're in high gear.
So
Yeah.
did anyone sing happy birthday to you, Rodney?
Thank you. Thank you. Happy. Happy just said happy birthday. You know what? I had a couple, but you can never get too many happy birthdays. You can never
Oh,
get
well,
too
all
many.
right then. And so, well, the comments are filling up with happy birthdays for you. So let
Thank
me
you.
add the birthday song
Mm-hmm.
I sing to everyone in my family. Okay. Are you
Okay.
ready?
I'm
It's
ready.
standard birthday song. Here it
Okay.
is. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. That's it.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. Great voice on
Oh,
that.
thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
well, that's great. I love
Well,
it.
that seems even more appropriate than that it's this weekend was your birthday because of the interview that we're about to do. And
Yes.
I'm going to be interviewing our own, wrong way,
Who?
Rodney Allen
Ta-da!
Ritchie. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Today, well, I'm all
Yeah. I
yours.
hope you're ready for this. I've
I
got some
am
trivia
ready.
for you. Yeah. Rodney told me recently that he has a foundation.
Yes.
And we're not
Yes.
talking about the scripture here, although that is the best foundation right there. But no, this is
That's right.
Rodney's brainchild. And Rodney, I
Yeah.
want you to just tell us briefly how this foundation came to be and what it's about.
I have to tell you, me and a dear friend of mine, Dan Pettigrew. Dan, he used to work for one of the major radio conglomerates here in Southern California, Clear Channel. And he actually, me and Dan have always been working on some positive things. Years back, Dan came to me and he says, Rodney, I think that we just aren't doing enough for our senior citizens. And I was like, okay. And Dan's a very, very creative guy. And it turned out we put our heads together and we created something called SCALE, Senior Citizen Appreciation Luncheon Events. Now, think about this. During the holidays, all across America, sadly, many senior citizens are in care facilities. They are in care facilities from coast to coast. Do you know, if you think about it, and it's really sad, when the holidays come around, St. Patrick's Day, Veterans Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, you know, families are so wrapped up in their own family, they forget about mom and dad, and no one goes and visits them. So Dan and I, we cranked up something called Scale, and we do these appreciation luncheons, and we can package them around every holiday. And when you think back, high school students have certain things that they have to do. They have to fulfill certain service credits and things like that before graduation. And we wanted to bring young people in where they escort a senior citizen to lunch. And it's an exchange. The old gets to learn from the young get to learn from the older generation. And it's for young people to understand that, I'm going to become older someday. And
Mhm.
they need to learn and hear these wisdoms. And so Dan and I, we created a modified version. And it's not just for young people, it's for those special senior citizens who impacted your life. It could be your grandma, your granddad. It could be an auntie. It could be anyone over 60 years old. And they can also be a veteran because we're doing it on November 11th in honor of Veterans Day this year. And Dan and I are so excited because we're working a wonderful relationship with the Golden Corral. And so Dan and I, we picked 3 locations. We picked Ontario, California, Las Vegas, and Gainesville, Wisconsin. So I'm going to be on site in Ontario, welcoming all the guests. Dan's going to be in Las Vegas, and we have a wonderful man named Dan Millar. He's a 94-year-old Marine who runs
Wow.
Veterans Project Library out of Wisconsin. He's going to be there, and we're going to simultaneously do 3 locations. And God willing, we'd like to be able to work relationship with Golden Corral and do it in every city, every location, so that this special day, the senior appreciation luncheons, are something where we honor our senior citizens and, of course, our veterans if we can.
I love that. I absolutely, and I'm not saying that just because I am a senior,
I
but
don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I think everyone else does. I had
Okay,
the
well,
honor and the pleasure of having my grandparents well into my adult years. And I
Wow.
cannot begin to tell you how important they were in my life and how
Mhm.
much I
Yeah.
appreciated them. And, you know, when you're a kid, you only think of them as your grandparents. And then you learn that they
Yeah.
were,
Yeah.
excuse me, they were your parents' parents. And so, you know,
Mm.
you start thinking about the stories your parents are telling, and you think, okay,
Yeah.
what was my grandmother doing? How did she respond to that when my parent did this? And so you think a little more,
Oh,
but
wow.
then as you get a little older and you start hearing even more, you find out things about them that you didn't even know that maybe they
Yes.
did before they got married or even while they were married that you
Mhm.
never heard about.
Mhm.
You know, like my, excuse me, my grandmother had 12
Mhm.
kids. And so, you know, I'm pretty much thinking, okay, 12 kids, that probably just about consume your days and your life. But
Yeah.
somewhere during
Yeah.
that time, my grandmother took a course in cartooning.
Wow.
You know, I didn't even know she could draw, much less take a
Mhm.
course in cartooning. And then I learned that she also made candy and so sold it commercially.
Yeah.
And later I found out she had a business making back braces with her mother and her aunt. And they were very successful. And all this while she's raising 12 kids. I mean, just blew
You
my
see?
mind. So this is the sort of thing that I'm excited about because it
Mhm.
means that you are connecting older people who've had a long, rich life with younger
Yep.
people who maybe only look at them and see one thing. They just see somebody who's old and, you know, they think, oh, I can't
Mhm.
connect with that. But I guarantee you
Yep.
there are things in their life that you can connect with. And if you
That's
get the
right.
opportunity to spend the time around them, you will find out what they are, and it will be fascinating, just fascinating for both sides
That's
too,
true.
because you know what? The seniors of today, we're all well aware
Mm.
there's so much going on in the world that we are just clueless about. So we
That's
love
right.
getting around younger people who will tell us all of those
Mhm.
things, tell us what they're interested in, show us how to work things on our phones, you know.
Mhm.
We really appreciate that.
And you
So,
know what?
yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
sure. I was gonna tell you, there are so many wonderful programs out there, and our federal government is worried about connectivity. A lot of senior citizens all across the United States, they don't have access to the internet. Sometimes they don't think it's important. Well, there is a huge push from the federal government with connectivity. And I know
Mhm,
a wonderful young lady who her organization is giving little iPads away that are
mhm.
already connected to the internet for free. And so I'll make sure that I, circle back, hopefully get her on and have her tell about this. And this is something that is free, free, free for senior citizens. All you have to do is fill out a form. If you are low income or on a fixed income, there's certain little, parameters around it, but it's nothing major. And you can get a little free tablet and they can go on, they can read books. A lot of times the technology that's in these things and actually in these tablets are so incredible. Senior citizens can play crossword puzzles. They
Mhm.
can read books, because of the different platforms out there where you can get books onto your Kindles and things like that. So many wonderful things, and these
And
are the
they can
things that
stay up with
mhm,
the news, you know, because a lot of
and
them
stay up
are
with the
interested
news.
in what's going on today. They want to understand it.
Right, and that it's a big enough window where it's comfortable to look at. So we're really hoping through the Rippy Foundation. A lot of people ask me, Rodney, what will the Rippy Foundation do? We're gonna impact at-risk youth, senior citizen, our beloved veterans out there. There's so many homeless veterans, and so I have colleagues in so many different areas, from the federal government to entertainment to just education. And so I said, Rodney, you have access to all of these things. I've been thankful to be a part. Memories of Nana and Grandma actually gave me, someone saying that. Thank you, Jacqueline. And
Personal information, she says, yeah.
that is what it's all about. And so I've been fortunate to work with some of the greatest organizations, Muscular Dystrophy, American Cancer Society, Special Olympics. I have been around so many great organizations, and oh, can't forget Salvation Army as well. And I said to myself, I said, Rodney, you've had a great experience around this. It's time to do something of your own. And I mean, I met a wonderful group down in Yorba Linda, uh, by the sea last night. It was incredible. There was about 20 senior citizens, and they were all had food, and they're sitting on this beautiful landing overlooking the ocean in Yorba Linda. And I saw this one guy trying to take a group shot of all the ladies, and all of them were seniors, all of them. And I said, okay, guys, come on, everybody in. We're going to take this big group shot. And they were like, oh, no, no, no. I'm like, come on, guys. I said, you got to take a picture with the ladies. So they all got up. There was a huge group of them. And I took this picture and I started talking to them. And I told them, of course, about scale. And they said, Rodney, we're coming. And I mean, these are successful people living in a multi-million dollar beautiful community down in Yorba Linda. And I said, come on to the scale event. So hopefully they're going to come down and but they were ex-military men. They were veterans as well, senior citizens. I'm so jazzed about this. And again, there are so many things that we can do in little ways. And the one motto about the Rippy Foundation is going to be speed to service. So many times when people have needs and they come to an organization and they need help, I'm cutting through the red tape. I'm going to have a very high level of screening. We're going to get to the bottom of the problem and we're going to fix it. So stay tuned. Please pray for me, because this is something that, I'm like, I'm really excited about this.
How can we get behind you on this? Carrie says, I sub to the foundation channel.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
got a foundation channel?
I will be there. I will be there. I will be there. How you can get behind me. We are going to have a major event on November 11th. So just kind of throw your love behind me, throw your support behind me. There will be ways. It's almost like the movie that we were talking about the pay it forward. You can pay it forward. If you are not in Ontario, California, or Las Vegas, or Janesville, you can make a donation. And so soon, hopefully next time we get on, I will be able to have a donation link where you can make a small donation. I don't care if it's $5, whatever we can pull in, it's going to go to the lunches for the senior citizens because it's free. That is what the Senior Citizen Appreciation Luncheons are all about, because the Rippy Foundation, or through a collection of sponsorships and friendships, will be paying for these lunches. So the senior citizens can go in and have a healthy and nutritious lunch, and it's going to be on the foundation. And we also are going to have an exchange. Also, my dear friend Dan, we're going to be streaming KJBM Radio, which is a beautiful music network for baby boomers. So it's going to be music from the 1920s to the 2000s. So if you want to hear the best of beautiful music, it's all instrumental, and it's people like Percy Faith, the great, so many great, it's going to be so many great songs. So if you get a chance, everybody go to kjbmradio.com. kjbmradio.com. It's all instrumental. And I definitely want to make sure that we do a cross promotion between the This Way Network and, of course, our wonderful shows, because senior citizens, they love inspirational shows like this.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. So, Rod, what was the first inspiration for doing this particular event? Was it your own grandparents? Was it somebody else you knew, or just something you observed? Or
I have to tell you, I believe spending time with my grandma, Ella Hubbard. Ella Hubbard was my mom's mom, and when we moved to North Carolina, we actually ended up being, you know, pretty close proximity wise from my grandma Ella. And it was really, really funny because that was really the first time in my life that I was really able to spend a lot of time after we moved from California to North Carolina. And we could spend time with grandma. And, you know, it was really amazing, you know, and I had an opportunity years ago to meet my granddad, you know, on the Rippy side, and my
Mhm.
grandma on the Rippy side. And then on my mom's side were Hubbards. And just spending time with grandma. And the funny thing was, one time I had to drive grandma, and I had my phone with me, and she said, "Boy, I don't understand how you young people do it." And I was like, "What, grandma?" And so she said, "When we were kids, we didn't have anything like that." And I started thinking of all the things that we have in the world that she did not have, and they survived just fine. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
my grandmother, Ella Hubbard, when she passed away in North Carolina, she still had a wood burning stove in her kitchen. It
Wow.
had a firebox. She was so old school. She did not want the newfangled technology. Every morning she would stoke the fire on the side, and she had this huge metal oven or stove that,
Mhm.
but you know, that thing would make biscuits rise up 3 levels
I
because
bet.
the heat was so perfect in the thing, and it was crazy. So just spending time with grandma, and and you know, you really get to, if you spend time with a senior citizen, you really understand what they want. And just because they're older, it doesn't mean that they don't want entertainment, that they don't want to get out and have a good time. That's what the scale program's all about. We really want to bring entertainment into these care
Mhm.
facilities, take them out on field trips. There's so many things we're going to do. I'm so excited. So
I love
excited.
that. I love that. So right now,
Yeah.
this particular event on November 11th is only in 3
Uh-huh.
cities? Okay, so
It's
how
only in
can
3
we
cities.
only in 3 cities. How can we help
Uh-huh.
expand to other cities
You
too?
know, I tell you what we need to do are get RSVPs. We can get RSVPs from, well, we're starting out with those 3 cities, but once we could show that we have a longing for us to do it in different cities, you can. So
Mhm.
you can go to KJBM Radio. Right on the front page, you'll see a Golden Corral logo. And when you click on it, you'll see a drop down where you could kind of click and RSVP for either Ontario, Las Vegas, or Janesville. But we welcome you to say, hey, send me an email. You can also go to Rippy Foundation at gmail.com. That's Rippy Foundation at gmail.com. Send me an email. Say, hey, I'm in this city. We have a Golden Corral here. We'd love to be able to have the scale program. Once I stack up all that information, of course, I will go and let the corporate know. And again, I'm holding on. There's a wonderful man by the name of Mr. Hankey. He is the chief marketing officer for Golden Corral. And I hope that he says he loves the idea too, and that this falls within the alignment of their corporate mission as well. They're doing some great stuff on their own for veterans, but we just have a little modified version of it. But in between the Rippy Foundation, there's going to be also part of my entertainment company and media. So everything that I have, I'm rolling it into the Rippy Foundation. And of course, at risk youth, they're going to be able to learn radio broadcasting, video production, editing. They can get involved in that aspect, job creation, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, the things that young people really need to know about. These are things that I'm bringing for the senior citizens. We're going to have healthy tips, things for their diet, things that keep them on the go. Our veterans, we want them to know that they're loved. There are so many homeless veterans out there that shouldn't be. And I'm going to work financial relationships with banking institutions and try to help make sure that these veterans are first in line for qualified homes so that they can get in and not be without a home.
I
That's
love what
my,
you're doing, Rodney. I love that. And thank you so much on behalf of all the seniors out there. I know they appreciate that too.
well,
So,
I'm 55. I just turned 55. I know I'm kind of cool, but hey, turned 55 on July 29th. And honestly, Nina, I think back and I go, I remember being that little boy at 3.5 years old and having my start in entertainment. But I remember it was like yesterday. And I go, Rodney, man, dude, it's 55 years. And I'm like, man, and thank God, the Lord has kept me and kept me preserved. Matter of fact, as an extension to my birthday, Sunday, went to a great church here in Lake Elsinore called Amazing Church. Amazing Church. You can go to amazingchurch.le, and they are a conglomerate of amazing churches around there. I guess that's the name of them, Amazing Church, and they're in different cities around the nation. And met with the pastor. I had hoped to have him on this morning, so fingers crossed we're going to have the pastor, Mr. Welsh, Pastor Welsh from Amazing Church, and it's going to be incredible. And again, so many wonderful people out there. That's what it's all about. That's what This Way Network's all about.
okay, so Rodney, we don't have much time left. I want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that people living in those
Mm-hmm.
three cities know how they
Mm-hmm.
can hook into this. Maybe they are a
Okay.
senior citizen, maybe they know
Yep.
someone that would benefit from
That's right.
this. How do
Mm-hmm.
they make this happen for the
Okay.
one they love?
If you are in Ontario, California on November 11th, or Las Vegas or Janesville, Wisconsin, we would love to invite you down to the nearest Golden Corral. We're going to have a senior appreciation lunch. At each location can hold because we're going to have a private room. There's going to be room for maybe 70 wonderful senior citizens and or military. We want you to come down. You can sponsor a senior citizen. So I'm going to, hopefully next time I will have a link up. Well, it's the Rippy Foundation, and I'll give you my EIN number and all that good stuff. And then we're going to start bringing in donations, or you can just RSVP. Now we know, okay, in Ontario, we have so many RSVPs, and we're going to start ramping up for that. And
Right.
then we'll confirm by email that people are in. And the beautiful thing about this is it's just a luncheon. It's just a couple hours, and it's going to start around 11 o'clock. And the beautiful thing is they come in, the meal's free, and then they can just go. And of course, we can serve them. And we'll be playing beautiful music from KJBM Radio.
I love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say,
Yep.
Rodney, that my grandmother is in
Mm-hmm.
Janesville, Wisconsin. I'm
Yep.
here. Do I
Mm-hmm.
need to tell her, "Hey, that's happening, grandma, go down there"? Or what if she
Yeah.
is in a nursing home? Um, she's gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
have some, prior planning,
Yes.
I guess, to get
That's
her from
right.
there to
Yep.
to,
Well, we're
there's my phone going
well,
there.
we're It's okay. Well, we got a little time ahead of us. It's November 11th. So if senior citizens, if we want to do a group thing, hey, listen, sadly it's first come, first serve. So once we fill up, we're gonna fill up. We're gonna check off our seats, and when we're maxed out, we'll say we are full for this senior citizen appreciation luncheon, but we'll do it again. And Lord willing, if it gets bigger and bigger and we expand to more cities, we're going to expand it. So this is just one of the things that the Rippy Foundation is going to do. There are going to be some fun things. We're excited. There's also a television reality show called Pass It On, which is all about helping people through giving. Yes, and we will. Remember, everyone, you can reach out to me at at gmail.com, rippyfoundation at gmail.com. The website will be launching. We're days away from that. And hopefully next time we'll have the website up. Thank you. Thank you, Jacqueline. She said she remembers my old commercial.
Yeah.
So everyone,
Yes.
Nina, it's time's
And aren't we
up.
glad he turned into such a wonderful man? Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Carrie's telling me Coleman has a Golden Corral. So, I'm
Hmm.
thinking, gee, we need to get that somewhere here in
Yes.
Alabama for our seniors. We
Yes.
need that too. Rodney, thank you so
Hmm.
much for telling us all about this. It's been very encouraging and heartening to hear about what you're doing for our seniors and what your foundation is going to be doing going forward. You know, that there's more to come. I'm excited
Yep.
about that and excited
Yep.
about
Yep.
what you're doing. So,
Yes. Yes.
everyone, thanks for joining us today, and thank you for being in the comments. I think I saw a couple of people I
Birthday
hadn't either
wishes.
seen in a while or hadn't ever seen before. But
Wow.
Carrie and
Yeah.
Jacqueline are with us as usual. EU, thank you for being here
Yep.
with us. Happy, we're glad to see you too. So, all of you who joined us
Yep.
today, thank you so much. And we will see you again next time on the This Way Network. And y'all be of good courage because God is with us and we are not alone. Bye, everybody.
God bless. Thanks for all the birthday wishes.